BB851, turn right, heading 180. 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27.
The situation at Norwegian has been one of many ups and downs. If you've been a viewer of the channel for some time, you'll recall the airline playing a big part on the channel, from the 787 saga with the Trent 1000 engines that directly impacted Norwegian, to the 737 MAX crisis, which has seen many of their own jets grounded. It's safe to say the airline has not had the best time of things in recent years. Despite all this, it has been heavily favoured with travellers in the past thanks to its affordable prices. Back to those two major problems. If we pair those two with the global pandemic which is ongoing, the crisis continues. Today's coverage centres around their funds, which are at this point in time are not only constantly fluctuating, but also at a point where many sources have said that they're on the brink of being nothing, meaning in simple terms they have very little money left to operate. The carrier reported losses of £450 million, which is far higher than what they experienced for the same period last year. That period is the first half of the calendar year. It's worth noting that they were already struggling at this point though. With the recent losses, the carrier has said that in addition to it being low on money, it is also going to be cutting its long-haul fleet greatly in the future, specifically focusing around the 787s, which, as you might be aware, are the centre of their long-haul transatlantic operations out of Gatwick. This being an airport which only in recent days announced major cuts to its staffing numbers moving forward, and something that will be covered in a video in the coming days. The Norwegian Chief Financial Officer said, "We have too many long-haul aircraft. We are working to reduce the number. We've been trying to reach an agreement with Boeing. We've not been able to negotiate an acceptable deal, so we filed a claim against Boeing in June." Adding, "We have terminated our whole order for the Boeing MAX and the 787. The changes will be rather drastic for Norwegian in the future, as they have already cut close to 50% of their total workforce, and as of last year, were flying through the likes of the United States and even to destinations like Rio de Janeiro, so any changes are most definitely going to be felt throughout the general public and the aviation industry." The Wall Street Journal reported only in recent days as well that there is currently a very real risk that by the first quarter of the 2021 calendar year, Norwegian will cease to exist. This is down to the airline's current financial place, which, like I've mentioned, is far from being ideal. What's worth noting is this is most definitely not the first time we've heard such a thing, so while this is a very real possibility, it is still not set in stone. Only 2 years ago, talks surrounded the future of Norwegian, with many reputable sources noting the airline would only have 9 days to survive, yet today, in essentially September of 2020, it is still here. A key problem for Norwegian is the need obviously for more cash, but where that is actually specifically coming from goes into another problem. With many shareholders and more leaving at this point in time, the largest actual shareholders of the carrier are aircraft leasing companies, who could not pour the money necessary into the airline to help it survive and push it on. What we saw recently with Virgin Atlantic was the ideal scenario, but it's a very valid concern for Norwegian. Raising capital therefore becomes difficult, and something not that achievable on the face of everything. What are your thoughts? Do you see a way that Norwegian can overcome this long problem, or do you truly believe at the moment they're just slowly but surely dying out of the aviation industry? Let me know, and as always, to those of you that still have positions with the carrier, I wish you nothing but the best, whether that's with the airline or elsewhere in the future. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.